What happens after death? Baba Vangas insights versus science. Baba Vanga's prediction about a double fire rising from both heaven and earth is creating a wave of concern among people. Nobody knows the exact meaning of this prediction, but many believe it is a warning about natural disasters like wildfires, volcanic eruptions, etc. Some are even linking to the newly discovered interstellar object 3I Atlas, which is being speculated to be an alien spacecraft. While it remains what it means, this prediction suggests that Baba Vanga may have believed in the ideas of heaven and hell, even though she never clearly explained the soul or what happens after death. Moreover, some of her forecasts point to a broader cosmic view that goes beyond life on Earth. According to various online sources, Baba Vanga predicted that humans would make contact with aliens around the year 2130, followed by a war against these extraterrestrials in 3005. When such cosmic and spiritual themes surface, naturally, one question again finds a spotlight: what really happens after death in different cultures and religions? It is believed that some part of us never really ceases to exist. This part is often called the soul, spirit, or consciousness that survives beyond the physical body. The idea of survival beyond death has shaped many views about the afterlife. These include concepts of heaven and hell, reincarnation, etc. But science is also exploring the idea of what happens after death by studying many of the near-death experiences, NDEs, beliefs of life. Many believe that the non-physical part of us doesn't simply vanish when the body dies. Many religions describe an afterlife where the soul goes to a place or state depending on how a person lived. For example, in Christianity and Islam, the soul may go to heaven as a reward or hell as a punishment. These places represent eternal happiness or suffering. In religions like Hinduism and Buddhism, the soul is believed to be reborn into a new life, a process called reincarnation. Here, the soul's next life depends on karma, which is the sum of a person's good and bad actions. Good karma leads to a better rebirth, while bad karma can cause a more difficult one. Near-death experiences. Many people who have been close to death have shared fascinating stories that seem to suggest consciousness might survive beyond the body. These are called near-death experiences, NDEs. Common elements of NDEs include floating above one's body and watching the scene below, feeling a deep sense of peace and timelessness, seeing bright lights or tunnels, meeting spiritual beings or deceased loved ones, reviewing one's life in a vivid way. For example, Leanda Pringle from Connecticut floated above her body during a severe kidney infection. She described it as a feeling of being everywhere and nowhere at the same time. "I've no idea how long I was floating in that abyss before I began to feel a presence," she told BBC Focus. Tommy McDowell, a former soldier from Texas, felt immense peace and love during a week on a ventilator. He saw a crystallized light that seemed to wash away his past pain. "I experienced the presence of God. It was overwhelming and occurred in a way that I just don't have the language to fully describe," he said. Tessa Romero, clinically dead for 24 minutes, felt free from pain and sorrow, and saw her own body from above. "It was as if a heavy burden had been lifted from my shoulders," she wrote in a book, What Science Says About Near-Death Experiences. Scientists have collected thousands of testimonies from people who have experienced NDEs. These experiences are linked to changes in the brain caused by low oxygen levels, hypoxia, and other neurochemical reactions as the brain approaches death, according to the National Association for the Research of Premature Mortality NARPM.in 2024. A study from the University of Michigan, led by Dr. Jima Borjajan, recorded brain activity in 4 dying patients. 2 showed a surge of brain waves shortly after life support was withdrawn. This activity involved areas of the brain linked to consciousness and decision-making. Dr. Charlotte Marshall, a neuropsychologist, called the findings extremely intriguing but cautioned that since the patients did not survive, It is unclear if they actually had NDEs. Animal studies also offer insights. Borjagin's team previously found that rats undergoing asphyxia showed a massive release of neurotransmitters such as serotonin, which surged to 20 times normal levels. These findings suggest that neurochemical changes may contribute to the intense subjective experiences of NDEs. Research on psychedelics such as DMT, LSD, and psilocybin also supports this view. These substances interact with brain receptors related to neurotransmitters like serotonin and provoke experiences similar to NDEs. Swipe left for next video. One can hypothesize that some endogenous molecules, those made within the human body mimicking DMT or ketamine mechanisms, could be released in life-threatening situations, such as when someone experiences an NDE, said one of the scientists on the team, as quoted by BBC Focus. Beyond biological explanations, research shows that NDEs often leave profound psychological effects. Professor Emerita Janice Holden from the University of North Texas categorizes these into psychological, such as losing fear of death and becoming more altruistic; spiritual, increased interest in spiritual topics; physical changes in metabolism and sensitivity; and social changes in relationships and lifestyle. Given these deep impacts, some mental health experts advocate for better support for critical care patients who